Welcome again, Maxim here, and in this video I will show you what Archwings are, where to get them, how to use them, and how they work. I will also discuss some aspects related to them. Let's start from the beginning. Archwings are essential to be able to move freely in space. The mission to get first Archwing is from the main storyline, and you unlock it by completing Mars Junction on Earth. Story quest consists of 5 missions that will equip you with components of the first Archwing, Odonata. Then you have to build these parts, assemble Archwing, and on the last mission you have your first flight. Each Archwing consists of 3 components and the main blueprint, just like Warframe, but the construction time is by half shorter. After completing the quest, you will have 2 additional weapons that you can manage in a special tab in the arsenal. Automatic rifle, Imperator, so-called Arc Gun, and Arc Melee, Veritax. Mods for them are from the separate category and you can get them during Archwing missions. As for other Archwing weapons, you can get many of them from the Syndicate offers. There you will find parts, and the main blueprints are available for credits on the market. Several weapons can be found in Tenolab in the dojo. Unique variants of Archwing weapons are also available, such as Prime from Relics, Prisma from the Void Trader Barrow, and Vandal, possible reward from defeated Razorback. As a curiosity, I want to mention a mod that can be quite useful if you like to fill the codex with various entries. In the Simaris offer on the relay, for 100,000 you can buy a mod that will give you, while using, the opportunity to exchange equipped scanner charge for an entry in the codex, which will apply to the enemy you killed with Arc Melee. As I mentioned before, Archwings are used in space, but not only. By building a special segment from a Tenolab from a dojo, you will be able to use it on open worlds. After building the segment, place the Archwing launcher in your gear wheel. This item is reusable. Archwing, no matter where used, has 4 abilities, like Warframe, and can be also leveled up to rank 30. While flying, you can quickly teleport by double pressing shift. Depending on where you do that, it will be a different distance. For example, in space it will be 500 meters, while on planes 100 meters. Currently, there are 4 types of Archwings in the game, one of which has its Prime version. Each of them gives you 6000 mastery points on maximum rank. So let's go back to Odonata. The first ability creates a shield, very similar to one that Volt has. It is attached at the player's front. It blocks damage, although area damage can break through. It also adds 50% fire damage to projectiles passing through it, and increases their critical damage by 200%. While using an argument, you can make your allies in range also receive this shield. You can also give it to Warframes and Necromechs, but in order for it to remain active for them, you must still be in Archwing. Augments for Archwings can drop out from mobs on Archwing missions. The second ability is Flares, which can confuse targeted projectiles. The third skill is a series of missiles that, after being fired, target nearby enemies. You will do more damage if you combine it with the first skill. The last ability is Shockwave, that pushes enemy away, stuns them, and deals them damage. Odonata is the only Archwing that has a Prime version. The main blueprint and components can be obtained by opening the corresponding relics, just like any other Prime item. The other types of Archwing are available in the Tenolab in the dojo, the same place from which you took blueprint for Archwing launcher segment. Itzal. Its first ability is a line with a fairly long range. You can use it to pull yourself to a surface, or use it to grab enemies and pull them towards you, dealing some damage at the same time. Alternatively, you can use this skill to get your ally out of difficult situation, for instance if ally is surrounded by a large number of enemies. The second ability is Invisibility, for you and for your allies within range. In order for it to be active, you need to stand still. However, you don't have to be completely idle to be hidden. You can use first skill to move by grabbing objects and pulling yourself. And you can attack and defend yourself by shooting and or using the next 2 skills. The third ability can be useful at the same time to open containers, collect loot, and it can also accumulate enemies in one point, while dealing damage to them. In a tight group, enemies are easy target for your Arc Melee. Additionally, you can use Argument for this skill, which will cause enemies in close range to freeze completely for a few moments. Itzal's last ability is defensive drones that attack nearby enemies, attract their attention, and generate an explosion upon death. In open worlds, if you exit the Archwing, all drones will be destroyed at the same time. Elytron. The first skill is a small cursor control rocket, which you detonate by using the skill again. The second ability is the release of smoke from the engines, which remains in the air for some time and neutralizes enemy missiles and projectiles, useful when protecting points that require defense. Using an argument for this skill causes blast status to set cloud in fire, which deals fire damage to any enemy inside the cloud. The third skill fires a rocket which detonates on a contact with a surface and creates an area where explosions are generated for some time. You can fire several rockets, one after another, but you can only create 4 areas like this at the same time, but you can do few in one spot. The last skill is a powerful explosion generated by a controlled rocket. Amesha, the only Archwing without an argument. The first skill creates drones that are able to stop an equivalent amount of damage hitting the player. For example, 5 drones can stop 5 damage occurrences on the player. This skill works very well with another skill. The second one produces 2 bubbles, smaller and larger. The smaller one prevents any damage from passing through it and converts hitting projectiles into health points for allies. The larger one intercepts the projectiles and redirects them to the smaller one. You can create 3 such areas at the same time. The duration of each can be extended up to 3 times by reusing the skill inside the bubble. The third skill creates an area around Amesha that slows down nearby enemies, removes active negative statuses from allies, and prevents additional negative statuses from being applied. The last skill converts 100% of taken damage into energy until you have full bar. Therefore, it is not recommended to use the first skill while using this one. In addition, everyone within the range of the skill receives a 10% bonus to range, strength and duration of the skills. You can increase stats of your Archwings not only with mods, but also passively, with the perks that can be found in the skill trees associated with the railjack. Each tree has a skill that passively influences your Archwing, whether it is teleportation cooldown, base stat boost, or how effective your skills are. You can also use arcanes on Archwing missions by placing them in Warframes. So these are all Archwings available in the game right now. However, this list might get bigger with the upcoming Duviri Paradox update, once DE introduced the concept of modular Archwings. It is possible that in the future, maybe even near one, something like this will appear in the game. It would be a pleasant surprise, because DE used to show many concepts even in the early developed stages, after which concepts and priorities were changed and the ideas were forgotten. However, some people still remember them, and the upcoming update would be a great opportunity to introduce such content. We will see what future brings, and in the meanwhile, that will be all in this video. If you have any questions, please type them in the comment section or visit one of my streams, link in the description. See you next time, bye.